Okay, good morning. What we're going to talk about this morning quickly is how to cook perfect, hopefully, scrambled eggs. Very easy to do. A lot of people use the microwave, but what I find in the microwave is that it dries the egg. If you don't keep your eye on it, at least, it will dry the egg out too much. And what you're looking for is some nice, soft, creamy scrambled eggs. So, I tend to go for 3 eggs for my scrambled eggs. That works out at a very nice portion. So carefully crack your eggs into a bowl. And give them a good whisk up. And that should do nicely. What I tend to do is not season the egg at this time, because I find that if you put pepper in at this moment, as you cook the eggs, it will start to discolour the egg. So nice cold pan, nice knob of butter in there, and your eggs straight into the cold pan. Place your pan onto the heat. And the good thing about this is that you have control of the pan, so a nice high heat, and you can always take the pan off, put the back on as you need to. And then it's just a case of keeping that egg moving around the pan. And a good non-stick frying pan is always a good buy. You don't have to do it in a frying pan like this. A nice non-small stick saucepan is perfect. And you can see as the egg starts to cook, it does start looking like scrambled eggs. So once I get to that sort of stage, I can take that off the heat now. Just keep that moving around, because the residual heat from the frying pan will finish off cooking your eggs. A nice pinch of black pepper, and if you wish, a nice pinch of salt. And then, as you can see, the residual heat of that frying pan has finished off cooking them eggs, and then I can take them out and serve them nicely on a plate. So as you can see, we've got some nice soft scrambled eggs there. If you found that there was a lot of water coming out of your eggs at this point, that would indicate that you've cooked the eggs too much, they've overcooked. You'll also find that I haven't put any milk or cream in there. A good knob of butter and good eggs is all you need for some nice creamy scrambled eggs. Hopefully you'll find it just as easy as that. Thank you. Good morning. Previously we've talked about scrambled eggs. Now we're going to discuss fried eggs. I've got a small frying pan here with a little bit of vegetable oil in the frying pan. Place that onto the heat, and then I've got 1 medium egg. Now, when it comes to fried eggs, the fresher the egg, the better. In fact, with any egg dish, the fresher the egg, the better. But when it comes to fried eggs, and you'll see in a minute, the white of the egg will spread across the pan. You'll tend to find that that happens with old eggs. So let the oil come up to the heat. Crack in your egg, and you can see that the egg white is starting to spread across the pan, and that signifies that this egg is an old egg. So once again, with the scrambled eggs, you control the pan, so the heat is perfectly fine. If you need to keep pulling it off the heat, pull it off the heat, don't be afraid. And then good non-stick frying pan always helps. And then just keep placing it back on the heat. What you don't want is the fat to get too hot, because the egg will bubble up at the end, giving you a nice crispy edge, and you don't really want that. I like to have my eggs what they call sunny side up, which means that the yolk is nice and yellow on the top. And once your egg's nice and fried, you can pull it off and let the residual heat from the fat finish off your egg. That way it's not going to overcook, it's not going to get too brown and crispy, and it's going to be just fine. Okay, so as you can see, I've got my egg nice and sunny side up, nice and runny, just the way I like it. Obviously, if you like yours cooked a little bit more, then all you do is gently just flick the fat over the top of the egg. Okay, just be careful not to splash it everywhere. Or you can be nice and brave, pick the egg up and then just quickly flip it over, back underneath, flip it over again, and then you've cooked the top of the egg a little bit more. And then underneath, hold it there for a little bit, drain a little of the excess fat off. If you wish, you can have a little bit of kitchen towel at the side, drop it onto a kitchen towel, pat the top of it nice and gently, get some of that excess fat off it, and then nice and gently onto the plate. And there is a nice soft fried egg. Okay, welcome back. We've talked about scrambled eggs, we've talked about fried eggs, and now we're going to go on to the poached egg, which is something that not a lot of people like to do. But as you can see, I've got it in exactly the same pan as I did the scrambled eggs and the fried eggs in, so one pan fits all. A lot of people do say use a saucepan that's nice and deep and things like that, but I tend to find that a frying pan's fine, and it's a lot easier to get your egg in and out of the pan. So as you can see, I've got my water in there boiling away nicely. What I'm going to do is add a little bit of malt vinegar. No, it's not whiskey. I'm going to add a little bit of malt vinegar. You can, if malt vinegar is a little bit strong for you, you can go along the lines of white wine vinegar, cider vinegar. They all do the same sort of thing. What you want to do, stay away from, is any red wine vinegars or dark vinegars like that, because that will discolour your egg as well as the flavour. So what I do is add a little bit of vinegar into the water, and all this helps to do is set the white of the egg and keep the egg nice and close together. So we get that back up to a nice rolling boil. There we go, and we're good to go to place our egg in. So nice little tap on the side. Watch your fingers as you drop it in. You don't want to drag your fingers into that hot water. And then just drop your egg in nice and gently. And as you can see, that egg white has stayed nice and tight to the yolk, and that's the vinegar that's helping doing that. And all we do is keep that egg in that water for a nice rolling boil. And it's up to you. If you want a soft poached egg, you can just keep your eye on it. You can see the top of the yolk there, that's staying nice and soft. If you want a harder poached egg, just leave it in the water for a bit longer. And all we do is, as you can see, it's rolling away nicely there. Just keep lifting it up and just make sure that eggs are staying nice and not sticking to the bottom. Like I say, this takes, I could have got another 3 or 4 in there as well. So once again, as I talked through when we did the scrambled eggs and the fried eggs, you control the pan, so it doesn't really matter about the heat. Once you're happy that your egg's done, you can just pull your pan off, okay, and then the residual heat from the water will finish off cooking your egg for you. So we'll get our spoon. This is where a nice bit of kitchen roll, and all we do is carefully lift out that poached egg, drain a little bit of the water off. Okay, we can get rid of that. Drop it onto a bit of kitchen towel, just give it a nice gentle little dab, get the water off it, and then onto your toast, your muffin. Okay, and then as we'll break into it, we've got a nice soft runny poached egg. Happy, thank you. Okay, welcome back. So we've talked about scrambled eggs, we've talked about fried eggs, we've talked about poached eggs, and now we're going to go talk about the infamous boiled egg. Okay, so I've got a nice saucepan here with my eggs in the saucepan. Okay, I know this saucepan's a bit big, but stocks here are limited. So, but the trick is not to overcrowd the pan when you're doing boiled eggs. So it's literally boiled eggs in, water in to the boiled eggs, and what you want to do is come over the eggs, okay, and make sure that they're nicely submerged in water. What you're looking for really is a good inch of water over the top of the boiled egg. So boiled eggs onto the stove, bring them up to the boil. We're going to set a timer for 6 minutes. Okay, so we've got the eggs in the water. Okay, we've got a timer set for 6 minutes, and hopefully that should give us some nice soft boiled eggs. Now with boiled eggs, if you want something a little bit softer, go for 4 minutes. Something a little bit harder, go for 8 minutes, and then 12 minutes for really hard boiled eggs. Somewhere about 10 minutes is good if you want a nice egg sandwich. Now when it comes to boiled eggs, once you've opened them up and had a look at them, if you look around the yolk of the egg, if you've got a little bit of green around the yolk of the egg, that means you've overboiled them and you've cooked them too much. Okay, so I tend to go for a nice soft boiled egg for about 6 minutes. So we've got our water on, we'll bring that up to boil, we'll place a lid over the top, and we'll leave it there for a good 6 minutes. Okay, our timer's gone off, I've turned off the heat, I'll fish out my boiled eggs. Now if you were going to use them for a salad or something like that, then straight into cold water, iced cold water the better, and what that will do, that will stop the cooking process and also cool down the eggs for peeling. But if you want them just for soldiers and that, into your egg cup, and then straight off to the top, and then as you open it up, okay, these have gone a little bit too far because they're, oh there you go, look at that one, nice soft boiled egg. That one will have burst in the pan. Try this one. Yeah, once again, lovely soft boiled egg, and that was 6 minutes. Like I said before, if you want them a little bit softer for dipping soldiers in, then 4 minutes is perfect. If you want them a little bit more done for maybe an egg salad sandwich, then I would go 8 minutes. And then once again for hard boiled eggs, for on a salad, actual salad, I would go 10 minutes. Okay, but that's a lovely 6 minute soft boiled egg. Thank you.